Hello, my name is Kiana Jackson, and I'm a human resources consultant with a specific focus on supporting organizations on embedding DEI in their HR practices. I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope that you're able to glean some nuggets of information to help answer your HR-related questions. This video is part of an HR and Equity Toolkit, which was created by Communities Rise to support organizations like you that want to reimagine human resources in a way that helps create the equitable world that we are all striving for. The full toolkit can be found on the Communities of Opportunities website and the Communities Rise website. It will allow you to dive more deeply into the topics, while this video just highlights a few key concepts. When organizations commit to DEI, they slow down. They become more intentional, and they make decisions around how they administer HR that help dismantle the white supremacy culture that currently exists as the norm in our workplaces. The results are a diverse and inclusive workforce with equitable practices that are designed to help marginalized communities thrive. One thing I've learned over the years is that often folks have different definitions of words. So to ensure that we are all on the same page, I'd like to share what I mean when I use the words diversity, equity, and inclusion. These are my definitions, just mine. Diversity is the what? It is the characteristics of the people you work with, the differences in a group, and it extends beyond race and gender, and it includes other attributes like class, ability, whether you live in a rural or urban area, even your mindset and your skills. Equity is ensuring folks have what they need to succeed based on their unique circumstances, their strengths, and their growth areas. I like to think of equity as both a process and an outcome. The process being a tailored approach to providing resources and support to historically marginalized groups so that they can fully participate and reach their full potential. The outcome being that we have achieved the equitable communities and workplaces where everyone has what they need to thrive. Inclusion I like to think of as the how. It is the behaviors and social norms that ensure people feel welcome. It is an intentional, sustained, and specific effort to make people feel welcome, valued, heard, and respected. When you add that all up, embedding equity in HR is a true and deep effort to understand and welcome folks with different lived experiences than ours. It aims to remove unfair barriers to opportunity and ultimately build a just society where everyone, regardless of who they are, is able to thrive and live a full and meaningful life. There are many areas in the HR wheelhouse, but today we are going to focus on three: compensation, staff wellness, and performance. Compensation is such a complicated concept, and let's be real, any process, online platform, or service, or even a consultant comes with bias. So this particular area of HR requires slowing way down, being very intentional and thoughtful, asking a ton of questions, and challenging the status quo. Align your compensation strategy and philosophy with your organization's values. For example, if equity is one of your organization's values, that could start with performing a pay equity audit. This will help to uncover any inequities that exist, and then you can make a plan to correct them. Get internal input from all levels of your organization and seek input from other organizations. And that doesn't mean that you have to take every suggestion into play, but a diversity of perspectives results in a richer, more comprehensive outcome. Develop salary structures that have a floor and a ceiling. The floor being the lowest wage that you're willing to pay anyone in your organization. This clearly communicates your thoughtfulness around the importance of everyone having a livable wage. Having a ceiling creates a structure that lessens the gap and supports the narrative that those at the top of the organization are no more valuable than others. The second area is staff wellness. If there's anything we should have learned during these challenging times, is that staff wellness is paramount. The health and well-being of our staff is key in their ability to show up in the workplace and provide the valuable input and contributions that they were hired for. Here are a few things to consider as you lean into supporting the whole beings that are in your organization. Number one, review your health benefits. Look to see if they provide mental health coverage. If they don't, look for creative ways to support your staff financially to receive the support that they need. Number two, Zoom fatigue is real. Consider providing your staff with some support to reduce the fatigue that they're feeling during these challenging times. And that could look like Zoom-free Fridays. That could look like wellness or self-care days, COVID days. And all of this is on top of any sort of accrued PTO that they may be receiving. Thirdly, bring in a trauma-informed consultant to join your staff on a call or in person if that becomes safe to do so, to create dedicated time to talk through systems that affect Black and Brown people. There's so much more to learn over in our written material, so make sure you head on over there. Lastly, rethink and imagine performance reviews, starting by renaming the process. For example, instead of performance reviews, call it year in review or reflections for success. You could create a clear and transparent process that sets your team up for success. And a few key elements of that could be communicate the goal of the meeting in advance of the meeting. Number two, you could provide your staff with the template, the criteria, the elements of the review, anything that they need to consider to prepare themselves for your time together. Number three, make sure there is clarity around how the evaluation affects, or doesn't, their salary. Lastly, communicate in advance that this is a process that is designed to be collaborative. You want to welcome feedback and you want to co-create versus being punitive. Build relationships and trust by having regular check-ins, at minimum monthly, but I highly recommend weekly. As I wrap up, your most valuable asset is your people. What you invest in, what you feed, what you water, nourishes and grows, which is ultimately what you want for your people, is for them to grow and to get better. As you look to reimagine HR, I encourage you to reference the written materials of the toolkit to support you on your journey.